Welcome back. From high-flying acts to deep-rooted controversies, the traveling circus has a long history here in Indiana.
Where is Sherman? He's live. He's downtown at a new exhibit that explores the history of the circus in Indiana. Sherman, good morning.
Good morning to you. Indiana Historical Society is where we are on the fourth level of the building, and I'm telling you, so think of the circus, and I don't know about you, but growing up here, growing up in Indiana, we always went to the circus, right? Circus City. There's so much that people love about the circus, as I said before the break, but there's a lot of things behind the scenes of the circus that have certainly been controversial. Well, this exhibit here at the Indiana Historical Society sort of explores a little bit of both, but really, as I said before the break, sort of tears the Band-Aid off of what really went on behind the scenes and the huge connection to Indiana. Good morning, Jody Blankenship, who's the president and CEO, Indiana Historical Society. Okay, this exhibit is called Circus City. So explain a little bit in a nutshell what the whole concept is for.
Sure. Well, here in Indiana, we always like to talk about the circus history that's here throughout the state. We were the winter quarters, both in Peru and West Baden, for a number of large circuses around the country. Of course, we're the crossroads of America, so it made a lot of sense. But we've really held on to, captured that identity with the circus. So here at the Historical Society, we wanted to give a more holistic view of the circus. So for a lot of us, yes, we remember the circus as this nostalgic thing we'd go to with our family, see animals we've never seen before, and see really interesting acts and people. But we also wanted to give a view of behind the scenes, what was happening. It wasn't all just rosy.
Okay, and so each panel here throughout the fourth level of the Historical Society sort of explores different parts of that, right?
Yep, that's correct. Yeah, we talk about the people who were involved, the ownership, the use of the actors who were involved in doing artistic things, the animals themselves, how they were used.
Yeah, so animal care, we've talked about this too, because there's always been a concern about that for a lot of people in terms of how the animals were treated. And in this case, we see some of that too.
Absolutely.
I mean, the behind the scenes of that. So what is the whole goal of this? Well, some of these are really interesting. The whole goal of this is to what? I mean, what do you want people to understand about how the circus, the background of the circus, and the connection to Indiana?
Yeah, well, like most things in history, it's complicated, right? So there's always that good and bad. And what we want is for people to explore this thing that is still pretty popular, maybe not in the same form it used to be, but be able to look at it from all different sides and understand it and make their own minds up about that product, that history, having a more holistic view.
And so we talk about the many sides of history. In this case, we talk about the sideshow, and there were some cases stereotypes, blackface that was used, all kinds of things that actually were used to, quote, entertain, but in actuality exploited.
Absolutely, yeah. So, when you think about going to the circus, you would go to those side tents where you would see minstrel shows or the quote-unquote freak shows, but those were people who were really just exploited or playing roles that played up on stereotypes that were inappropriate.
Yeah, okay, Peru, Circus City, right, we're going to talk a little bit more about Peru because that is a huge part of circus here in Indiana and the circus around the country. For more information, we put a link at our website at fox59.com. I believe the exhibit is through January of 2025?
June 8th.
June, excuse me. I'm going to say 2025.
Not yet. 2024.
No, 24. I got to get through this year first. June 2024 for more information about Circus City, Indiana Historical Society. I'm getting ahead of myself. I don't want to get to year 25.
Not yet.
That means a year
Sherman,
older.
not yet. Slow it down.
Not yet.
The Indiana Historical Society has some incredible stuff.
Yeah, what
Just
a beautiful
incredible.
building too.
Absolutely.